Right. Hello. How are you? Good. Good. Thanks. All right. So we are video chatting right now with members of our PLN who are not currently at ISTE. So she's explaining it right now. Your iPad.
Move nearer to the
Move
window.
nearer to the window.
Yeah. Okay.
Because global collaborations that we
Yeah. Global collaboration.
professional
Really?
teacher. No, that's what I'm asking.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you say teacher to teacher?
Yeah.
Yeah, teacher to teacher. That's what this session is about. But we also do, some of us have worked with students, getting our students connected. So yeah, what do you do?
I'm an eighth grade language arts teacher.
Eighth grade language arts teacher.
Did a lot with Mr. Skype last year.
Right.
I'm really looking for that collaboration. So I'm going to push forward.
Oh, that is fantastic. That's fantastic. Yeah, but are you currently connected? Like, are you currently using Twitter or Voxer, Google Hangouts, anything like that?
None of that stuff. Just the Skype right now.
Just the Skype, yeah. But if you need help getting set up with Twitter, Voxer, anything like that, we'd be happy to help you. There have been schools that have like changed the way that we've taught.
Our district has been reluctant to go into a lot of the Twitter and social media, so especially because it's middle school. So
Right. Right, but professionals, like for teachers. Yeah.
No, we'll collaborate that.
So where are you from?
I'm thinking more about a given.
I see. Let me give you a ribbon for stopping by.
All right.
Would you like one?
Sure.
All right.
And then put it on the map where you're from. And then do you want to
Down there, they are doing. You can take your pick of these.
Workaholic.
Workaholic, excellent. So if you stop by down there and just kind of put in where you're from,
Okay.
that's really awesome. All right, thanks. All right, hey y'all. Okay. Hey. Hey.
Hey, we have some friends from Mexico.
I see we had a young learner in the camera.
Hey there. Hey, Valerie.
Yes.
Favor. Would you mind sharing with everybody, like, you've been growing your PLN, right?
Yeah.
And so, hey, wait. Oh, you want to wait? Yeah, come wait. Yeah. So we're taking a quick picture. We got our friends from Newland Elementary School here. They're here from Mexico, right? Right? They're here from Mexico. And so, just want to say hi to them here. Can I turn that a little bit?
Oh yeah, or do you want to put this on them?
Is that them?
Yeah, that's them.
Everybody wave. You're waving to the world right now. Yeah. So they're putting their names on the our map, because you can see behind us our map. Our board is under construction, just like your PLN is always under construction, right? So we're gonna fill this. Hey, Chris. We're gonna fill this board with notes to the world and Twitter handles and hopefully get full coverage here. Right now we've got Mexico and the United States, three places in the United States. But hey, Valerie and Stefan, can you talk to me about, on a serious note, about like growing your PLN? Like, how have you done that? And do you have like best practices that you follow when you are expanding your PLN or helping other people get connected?
I will say that Twitter is my number one go-to for growing my PLN. So those people we are in connection with and constantly speaking to, but then it spills over into the Voxer group. So our educators are very active. And I notice some groups are more active than others, but I try to share those commonalities or interests that I have, and then as you follow them, they follow you back, and then eventually you realize, hey, how about our classes? And then we're Skyping with our classes, and our students are doing virtual projects, and I'm learning from individuals. So I think we definitely can grow, and that's how me and Stefan got connected through our Voxer group.
Awesome.
And so this summer alone, we Skyped twice.
Really?
Yes, with his adult learners and my ESOL students.
Awesome. Stefan, you want to add to anything that she said?
Yeah, what I will add is just best practices. Right? I think on Twitter you just have to ask the right questions. And of course, make good use of the hashtags. So connect with the right people.
When we're not talking.
And then, just show your willingness to connect with people. Show your willingness to give it a try to learn from other people, and then always kind of follow up. So you start with a simple discussion, start with a simple conversation, and then branch off into little projects, try things together, collaborate, simple things maybe, and then always giving feedback on how it went, so that you can nurture the relationship. I think that's really good too. I can't hear you.
Okay, sorry about that. I was muted for a second. No, that's so awesome. Like,
Okay.
you explained that perfectly. I was trying to tell you on that, and then Sarah's like, no, I'm muted. So what we're having some difficulty with is we've got this table. Hey, say hi. Hi. Oh, here. Hi. There you go.
Hi.
Yeah, okay. Some more friends. Yeah.
Hello.
And this is Valerie and Stefan. They're our friends from Mexico, right? Oh, we need a picture of them.
So this is even more incredible because I'm way down in Rio, right? So Rio de Janeiro. So this shows how the connection can actually work.
Okay, all right. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get you two to talk about like what motivated you to get connected, and what benefit have you found to being connected? I mean, I know you stated a little bit of it when you were sharing about your best practices, or is there like a bucket filling moment, or is there something that's happened that's inspired you to get other people connected? Like, talk a little more about that if you don't mind.
Okay, Valerie, you go first.
Okay. I will certainly say what motivated me was the classroom started to get very boring, and the fire within me as a teacher was starting to become very extinct. And I needed something new, I needed something different, not just for myself, but for my students. And so that got me to the point where I needed to figure out what else can I go beyond the textbook, beyond the handouts. And so just the fact of I love teaching and it's my passion, that alone was motivation to say, I got to fix this. And I got to figure out how to get that fire burning within me again. So that definitely for me was the key. I did not want to become a burnt out teacher at 37 years old. How about you, Stefan?
Yeah, well, what motivated me was there were two things. I think the language school where I work, they kind of push the use of technology to enhance learning. So there's a big drive in where we work. So I've always been kind of latched onto this and very familiar with technology. So I thought of maybe going beyond the classroom, and then I work at specialization courses where we help teachers integrate technology. So I decided one day to do that. Why not lead by example? So I started to venture out and explore Twitter more, and actually learned a lot from so many other people. So you get to see what people are doing and exchange ideas. So I think bucket fill moment for me, as I said in the chat, is like when I started the T2T chat as well, new teachers to Twitter, and met so many good people. So I mean, keep meeting people. This is it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I turned the mute off, right? Can you hear me this time? Awesome.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Get there. Okay. So, a couple things. And I'm trying to find the time on Sarah's computer because I don't see it on mine. What time do you guys have?
7:15.
7:15.
Okay. All right. I know. Can I have one more question? Because I'm going to
Sure.
tweet you guys out. But
Sure.
do you mind, if you're willing, will you write your handle on a piece of paper or and hold it up? Because I don't know that your handles are in the bottom third of your screens.
Okay.
So
Okay,
do you
just a
mind
sec.
sharing your handles if you want to find you on Twitter?
Just a sec.
Okay.
Sure.
Sure.
Here.
Let me just get a pen.
I'm moving. I'm moving.
I should have forewarned you. I'm sorry. Okay, we're going on a tour at your
Okay,
house.
Valerie. You're moving.
I know. I'm in my walk-in closet.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to find just a piece of paper so I could write on. I don't know. Back of this piece of paper. Okay. Just a sec. Just a sec. Cool. I can use this one. Right. I can use this. I think this should be good enough.
Mine is right here. Stefan's race t-shirt is here.
Yeah. Can you see that? Can you see that?
Stefan, pull it back just a little bit.
Right.
Yes.
Right. How's
And
that?
we're gonna,
How's that?
yeah, we'll tag you in it too, but just in case people want to go ahead and start following you now, that would be great. There you
Okay.
go. Yes, it's
Okay.
Steph working. Yeah, we'll get it. We'll totally get it.
Okay,
Perfect.
that's it. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Okay.
Yep, got it.
Okay.
Hey, Stefan, thanks so much for joining us. You're welcome
All
to
right.
stay.
Most welcome.
Yeah, I'm so glad you're here. And I don't know if it's kind of loud for you or not, but I'm going to call in some other people. But like I said, hey, oh, Valerie, let me stop talking so yours will show. Oh, because I think you're muted. Okay, so I will tweet out like who the time that you're on and your Twitter handles, and so chime in, but if you want to come back into the conversation, let us know. And thank you so much. And had one more thing, but I can't remember it now, so I'll just like tweet it out later. And you guys are amazing. You're amazing.
No problem. Good luck, you guys.
Hey,
No, you guys, good work there. Good luck. Enjoy the rest.
Oh, we totally will. All right. Thanks again, you guys. You're awesome. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye. I'm gonna leave out. Valerie, take it easy. I'm on.
Hey, how are you? Hey, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for being here.
Oh, my pleasure.
So what I'm going to do real quick is, okay, so here's what I'd like for you to do, so you can introduce yourself to the rest of the world. Would you by chance have a way to share your Twitter handle? Would you mind saying it and maybe jotting it and like holding it up so if people want to follow you, they can? And I'm going to go and bring in our other folks that are going to join us at this time.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, all right, thanks, Steve. Wait, what color was that? Oh, and you can
sorry.
Thanks, Sarah.
All right, I am so sorry about that. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure.
So right now we are live and direct poster session. So we've been chatting about the value of being connected and reasons why people might get connected. I ran out of those. I'm sorry, but take your pick for anything else you want. Yeah. So are you the one who had blogged about being connected?
I did a blog.
Sorry, did you hear me?
I did a blog.
I'm sorry.
Hang on, I'm getting some feedback.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. Excellent. So what has been your experience connecting, like being a connected educator? What's been your experience with that? If you could just tell us a little bit about it.
Okay. Hang on, I want to close something real quick. Well, I don't know how much they told you about myself, but I'm a principal at a high school in Indiana, Northeast Indiana, and we have been a one-to-one school for going on 5 years now, and I've been principal all 5 of these years. So, the culture that I come from is certainly something that's a priority from central office all the way down to the elementary levels. So I think we're surrounded in that culture. The experience that I've had as I suppose a connected educator, I think I'm like a lot of educators where I didn't grow up with all of the tools around me. I've kind of been, I guess, a non-native. I guess that's the buzzwords to all this. So I've had to do a lot of learning on my own, and I think that from my perspective, it's been very interesting because I think my journey is very similar to the journey of a lot of the teachers that are out there, where we weren't trained with it, but it's an important part that's not going to go away. It enhances the classroom, and I think it's up to us to kind of figure that out and use technology as that tool. So, I did the whole Twitter thing a few years ago. I accumulated, 300 and some odd followers, but just wasn't getting a whole lot out of it. Didn't know how to use it, didn't know why to use it, didn't know didn't know the value of it. So then last year, I kind of revisited the idea of, posting a blog out there, and so I started blogging a little bit. Not that I'm the world's best writer by any stretch of the imagination. But I threw some ideas out there and used Twitter to kind of promote some of those ideas, and the response that I got was it was overwhelming. It was, there were a lot of other people in very similar situations, and we learned from one another. So I threw some blogs out there, and we chit-chatted, and I guess that's what brings us together this evening.
That is fantastic, and what a story right there. We have some VIPs, from what I've heard, that are in front of us. Do you recognize these people standing in front of you?
Is there a way that I can enlarge the screen? I can only see that much.
If you click on the thumbnail with their picture on it, then it should take up your whole screen. Yeah, they came by and they're like, that's our principal.
What? Why do you need me then?
Yeah, it really shows how small the world is after all. Definitely. Oh my goodness. Oh, did y'all say ribbons? Ribbons, here we go. But yeah, love the fact that you talked about blogging and how that was like the next step for you after Twitter. Do you Vox at all?
No, I don't. That's one of the things that I hear a lot of people doing one of the things that I think I got better at this year was the whole Twitter chat thing. There are some hashtags that I've learned to follow with some consistency. Sort of getting into the whole different management systems to manage different chats at the same time. That's been that's kind of been my focus this year. I hear a lot of people talking about the Voxer. I hear a lot of people talking about the Google Hangout, which is what we're doing right now. This is my second time actually being on a Google Hangout. The first was Tuesday when Tammy kind of held my hand and walked me through the process.
Wow, that is fantastic. And I have to say, you're rocking it like a pro. Like, I see you with the headphone and the microphone. You're definitely rocking it out. So what kind of implications do you see this having for educators around the world when they start to connect? Like, what kind of benefits do you see that would have?
Well, I think one of the valuable aspects of the connectedness is the idea that we all, for whatever, wherever we're at and for whatever subject and whatever grade level that we got into education, we all got into education for the same reason. And so when we can connect and we can understand that the reasons are the same, the why we got into this business is the same, then we get to have dialogue between the different hows and the different whats that are so important. Unfortunately, we spend a lot of time focusing on what we do and how we do it, and that has a tendency to divide us sometimes. So when we can come together and we can recognize that we're all in this for the same why, and that is to help kids, then I think this tool opens the doors to create those different dialogues and those different opportunities.
Right, fantastic, fantastic. So, if somebody wanted to connect, like if they had never had any kind of experience with being connected at all, they've never been on Twitter, they've never been on Voxer, and they're just so overwhelmed and they don't know where to begin, what advice would you give them?
I think the advice is that it's okay to start off slow. I guess the word is lurking. It's okay to lurk, which is you got to start by getting yourself a Twitter handle and follow a hashtag. Learn some of the basics about what a Twitter chat is, and just kind of watch others. I think as educators we're naturally curious. We like to learn ourselves, so stretching ourselves and pushing ourselves I think is something that comes naturally, although sometimes we have to remind ourselves that we're lifelong learners. But I think the important thing is just to try something, to start small and see where it ends up. I mean, here I am, on a Google Hangout talking to folks in Philadelphia from my house. If you'd have told me a year ago that I'd be doing this, I probably wouldn't have believed you. So you never know where you're going to end up. So just be willing to try, and enjoy where it takes you.
Absolutely. So I heard you talk about Twitter chats. So could you tell us a little bit about what Twitter chats are and maybe what a few of your favorites are?
Twitter chats are basically designated times when a group of people get together for a common interest. I think some of the Twitter chats I started off getting a lot of information from was TLAP, hashtag TLAP, Teach Like a Pirate. That was a popular one. Ed Chat is always streaming. It's always going. There's lots of information, lots of articles that you can get, from that hashtag. I suppose ones that I use regularly. I get on the Sat Chat Saturday mornings and Sun Chat on Sunday mornings. That seems to be my most common free time. And then the New Teachers to Twitter, the NT2T. That's another hashtag that I spend quite a bit of time with, because although I've been Twitter chatting for about a year now. I would say about a year. I don't consider myself an expert by any stretch of the imagination, so I like hanging out with folks that are entering it new, so I can hear their questions and maybe learn some things from new folks coming in.
Right, that is fantastic. That is fantastic. Does your state or district have its own Twitter chat by any chance?
That's one of the things that I tried to do last year. There was, I came up with the idea after following some Twitter chats about the idea of branding the school, and so some of the folks that you met there who were at the conference there who were waving to me, helped me put together a Twitter chat for our own school. And what we did is on Parent Teacher Conference night, we made a Twitter handle or a hashtag for ourselves, and while the parents were standing in line getting ready to talk to teachers, we had a streaming Twitter chat, if you will, posted on the overhead, and so parents can get out their smartphones and devices and what have you and kind of jump on. So we tried that. We launched that last year. One of the things that we wanted to do is we wanted to kind of take a step back, evaluate that, see if it's got value or merit to it. And I think next year what we're going to do is we're going to create a series of topics and maybe put together a schedule for parents so that this year coming up we can maybe expand it, maybe have different audience participation, maybe some former students. As we graduate more and more kids, they're more tech savvy and more readily accepting of this technology. So it would be good to get their perspective on a lot of different things. So we're going to put together, like I said, some topics, bring in some guest speakers, maybe have our superintendent on there, some folks from the technology department, what have you. So yeah, we're planning on expanding that next year. That's sort of the goal I have.
That is fantastic. That is fantastic. All right. Well, don't want to hold you up too long. We appreciate you giving your time and your expertise. I'm gonna toss it out and see if anybody who is out here has any questions for you. If that's okay?
Oh, perfect.
Oh, perfect.
All right. Does anyone have any questions for Steve? We are hanging out live with Steve. Where you located? Tell us one more time where you're located, please.
Kendallville, Indiana.
Kendallville, Indiana.
Indiana.
That's right.
All right. So he's a principal located in Indiana. So we are talking about building a network, building a personalized learning network. So he's told us a lot about his journey, and he has some practical tips to get started. But do any of you have any questions that we can give to Steve?
I guess I missed all the tips.
Okay. Sorry. No. The tips. So if I heard you correctly, for the tips you were saying, like start out slow, and you feel free to lurk in Twitter chats. And
How do you draw in reluctant teachers?
oh, good question. All right, Steve. So Nancy here wants to know how you can draw in reluctant teachers. Do you have any advice on that?
The kicking and screaming guys.
The kicking and screaming ones. Yeah, there's three of us to handle all that. So, yeah. So, do you have any tips, Steve, about drawing in reluctant teachers?
I would say, in terms of reluctant teachers, I go back to the idea and the notion that all teachers got into the business for the same reason. We all want to help kids. So the thing that differs between teachers, I think, is what we do and how we do it. So what this technology represents and what Twitter chats represent are just different ways that we can get better at doing what it is that we're all in this business for, and that's for kids. So it's like anything else. If it is a good idea, it will stand the test of time. It will grow if you start off slow. I think one of the one of the things that's easy to lose sight of is it can be overwhelming. The information flies at a pace that's just too quick to take it all in. That's why, you know, if you look at my Twitter handle, you know, I think I started my Twitter handle, you know, in 2011, but you know, I would say that I've only started using this and getting benefit from a professional learning network from the past year. So I think that there's an element of you're going to get out of it what you put into it and what you're willing to invest into it. So, you know, I think that if there's an interest, if there's a question that you have about a particular topic, I think you start off there. You know, you look for it. You look for people who have similar questions. You follow. You get in line with some of those hashtags that are out there. And what will happen is you'll start to see just a wealth of information. You know, download some of the articles, take the links, read them at your own time. So it's like I said earlier, it's definitely a journey. It's definitely one that's worth starting off slow and building up.
District?
Oh, okay. Let me unmute it. All right, no, go ahead. All right. So she said Twitter's blocked in her district.
Twitter's blocked in my district. So, and as is all social media.
All social medias. I'm just translating just in case you can't hear her.
How do I convince teachers?
How does she convince teachers
that a PLN is valuable, especially because we're going one-to-one iPads next year.
All right, so how can she convince teachers that a PLN is valuable, especially since they're going one-to-one with iPads next year?
It's like now they look at it as another thing. You know, I don't want another thing.
Right.
And this isn't another thing.
I got you. Yeah, she was just saying that that the teachers look at it like it's another thing, but she's trying to convey to them that it's not another thing. So how can she convince them that a PLN is definitely useful and not just another thing?
Yeah. You know, in terms of that, I think that it's a tool, just like any other tools that are out there. You know, certainly when you read journals, you're going to get information from those journals. That's another thing that teachers can do. If teachers are motivated to get better at what they do, then they're going to find the different tools and the different opportunities that are out there. You know, the whole, you know, the PLN, some people call it a professional learning network. Some people call it a personal learning network. My experience has been, it's been more of a personal learning network journey. You know, it's been something that I've ventured off on myself. I certainly don't have every teacher in the district or even in my building that have, you know, Twitter handles. You know, it's something. It's just small opportunities. You know, for example, you know, one of the things that we get to do, fortunately, because we're a one-to-one district where we have everything that's open to us. But you know, we were at a conference. You know, we was coming in talking to language learners, and as the presenter was up in front of the entire district, you know, given, you know, the nuts and bolts about things, you know, we had our own conversation going on where we created our own just our own Twitter handle. So we were in a gymnasium, you know, with 300 teachers, you know, spread out everywhere. We're having our own sidebar conversations with that. So it's finding little opportunities like that. We've done ed camps this past year where we get to have teachers bring different questions to us. So it's yeah, I get where you're coming from. It is overwhelming. It is another thing that you have to do, you know. But when you start off slow and you find a little bit of value with it and you share those ideas, I mean, we're teachers. We like stealing stuff that works from other people.
She said that's so cool. Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah.
Oh, my pleasure.
All right. So does anybody else have a question for
and then I put like my entire tweet.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So do we have any other questions for Steve? Any other questions for Steve, a principal in Indiana? No? Okay, well, we don't want to hold you up, but thank you so much for your time. Like, this has been really, really informative and really great.
My pleasure. I'm glad I could be part of it.
All right, thank you so much, Steve.
All right.
You enjoy your evening.
All right. You do. Take care.
gotta go to where your friends are, and you Hey everybody, it's Ashley here, and all I'm doing really quickly is I'm gonna find my mom's email. Hi, say hi. Looking for my mom's my mom has a Nutella has a Google Plus account. So what I'm doing now is I'm just looking for so what I'm looking for is a address, and I'm looking for a tweet from Sarah. So, all right, and I've got some students here. Give me 1 second. Hey there, so if you're still tuned in to our Google Hangout on air, if you want to tweet a question to ask, we can ask anybody here. If you'll tweet it to me or Sarah or Tammy, we'll be happy to ask the question of people that are coming by and get like a live response. So hello from ISTE 2015.
I'm just resting my chin on the table.
That's okay. Totally. That's awesome. Hey, did you Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write our Twitter handles on, in case you don't have them, write our Twitter handles on a piece of paper, and then we'll have you guys tweet us questions if you want. And I'm gonna actually pull up my Twitter account right now. Okay. Hey, how are you? Great. So we are here live at I'm talking to the Google Hangout over there. So we're here at ISTE, and just had some friends walk up from Colorado and Vegas. Okay. And so what they're doing now is there's Sarah. They are going to put their information on the map, and we're gonna pan around and show you a picture of that pretty soon, or I'll tweet the picture out. We've got South America, Mexico, Canada, United States, Africa, and Australia represented. And again, if you want to tweet out a question that I can ask of anybody that comes by, I'll do that. Also, if you guys want to write a note to the world, whether it's like a reason to be connected or a benefit or best practice or whatever, on those white stickies, and then we're putting them, we're going to tweet out the picture. Awesome. Okay, so I am going to, for you, get some information for you. Let's see here. Okay, so no questions yet, but again, if you want to ask a question of Sarah or Tammy, say hi, because I'm telling everybody they want to ask you questions, they can. Hi. There's Tammy Neal and Sarah Thomas, and if you want to ask questions of any of us or of any of the people around, we will totally get them answered for you. Okay, so I'm going to write our handles on here. And then we'll do it like this, and then you can know what our handles are. Okay. All right. We'll be right back.
world?
I think we're out.
Yeah, I think we are too.
Sorry. Okay. All right. Hi, everybody. It's Ashley here, and we've got some friends that are like saying hello to the world. But if you've got a question, I think our time is almost up. But if you want to tweet a quick question to one of the three of us, and we'll get it answered for you, please feel free to do that. And thanks for tuning in. That's good. And now we'll check Twitter and see if I did it.